All right, so I meant to record myself building this, and I thought I pressed record on OBS. I did not. So we're back at my house, and as you can see, I have flies. I have made repairs from when our resident Prince, but aside from the repairs that have been made, you'll also see there's this new red nether brick pathway here. So when you teleport in, you're usually facing this direction, I think. So if you turn around, it's right behind the Waystone Shrine. And it says contest info. So if we come up here to this little shrine here, you can see that I have made some information for the contest going forward. So I still plan to do more writing contests, and you guys on the Discord server voted for me to do more. But I don't exactly have the supplies to keep giving away a bunch of crap. So this is where all of this comes in. And to give a quick little rundown of how this works, and I'll open the books behind me so you get an idea. So, the rules are pretty simple. When I announce the contest, I will give a location if it's specified, what the goal is, what type of writing you're leaving, and what the time limit is. And all of that's pretty self-explanatory. Books can be as long as you like. You're not judged on length, but on content. So longer, more detailed books tend to perform better, and you get bonus points for writing a character. If you need any of the refreshment on that, it's right there. But this is how the prize pool works. So players can add any items to the prize pool. You don't have to play in the contest to contribute to the prize pool. The winner will take all items in the prize pool, and the winner will be chosen by me within 24 hours of contest conclusion. Now, it should also state that when you donate to the prize pool, you're not guaranteed to win just because you donated more. So just because you donated three stacks of diamonds to the prize pool doesn't mean you're going to win it. So do bear that in mind. And just like with Rax's one, if you happen to win, your book or books will be put on display at spawn. I do plan to build a library there, I promise. But let's say you want an example, right? You want to see some examples of books to be left. Well, luckily, I have you covered if you come inside. So if you come right up in through the front door, which I left open apparently, you'll see right here, these shelves hold the books left by others. Don't eat these bookshelves or their contents, at least these ones here in the main room, because these are going to be put into the main library at spawn, and I would really hate to lose these unique items. So please don't do that. But here you can see books left by others, including Blaze, and others. So if you need an idea of what books to leave, there's your ideas, just to get something. And if you're participating in the contest, here's where you submit. So there was a lot of questions on where books should be submitted. In this chest right here, it even says leave books here. This chest right here. Please leave your books here and don't make me play scavenger search looking for your books. I don't mind like a little bit of environmental storytelling. It can be a little fun. But please, if it's for the contest, leave the books in this chest. And also, if you leave a book and there's a book in here, don't eat that other book to try and win, because that's kind of fucked up, man. Don't do that. we 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 eat people. We don't cheat. Anyways, so that's about everything I want to do over here. A bit later on, I'll probably take that tunnel bore down into the mines and go mining. But thanks to a server member, I now have this pick. Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, Mending. This is like the best pick I could ask for, because I don't plan on doing a lot of mining manually. God damn. My brain is having a stroke today. But this will allow me to mine pretty much anything I need and get more of it. I've also got some pretty decent armor. It's not the best, I need far better, but we'll have to put in some work into getting our alloy forge off the ground and stuff, because I haven't really focused on that. Luckily, I am building a city where it would be perfect. So let's go take a look at that city, eh? And here we are in Shadinti. As you can see, a whole nother house has gone up. So I've kind of been thinking on the design of the houses, and I really like both of these designs here. So this house here, it feels like somebody rents the downstairs and somebody rents the upstairs, which would come with a little loft area. But this one feels like it's more of a big family home, because, you've got one floor, 2 floors, and then I can add a third floor up there with the roof. And I was just kind of messing around with just house designs in general to see, how I wanted this city to look. And first of all, I would just like to say that roof looks really good. The dragon wood with the deep slate tiles in that sort of medieval pointed type fashion, I really like it. It looks really good. I'm going to keep using that. I also like how I can change the steepness of it by adding more solid block raises into it. Like I could make sharp peaks if I wanted to. So I feel like these houses here are a really great start. And now that I kind of got a design down, I think it's time we start planning out the city proper. Because one of my biggest issues when I go into big projects like this is, for some reason, I always just start randomly throwing around builds with no rhyme or reason to them and expecting it to work out. It does not work out. In fact, this building here behind me is a perfect example. I slapped this down with no real rhyme or reason, and I just kind of put it down as a way of, storing my crap. But I don't think it's really necessary. So I'm going to get some wool together. I think I got some purple wool. We're going to get some different color wool, and we're going to start planning out exactly where we want everything to go. So let's get that done. And I'll do a little time lapse of me planning things out, and we'll do a little bit of discussion during that, because I do want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. So let's get into that time lapse, eh? All right. So before we can actually start the time lapse, I had to go and gather up all of the wool. I don't have a whole lot here, but I do have in this chest, which is our resources chest, Scroll down. We do have a ton of blue and light blue wool, so these might be our most prominently used. I think I'll use blue to map out the docks district and like the waterfront district. So let's go ahead and start putting down blocks.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another quick time-lapse chat. This is sort of going to be going over a lot, so I'm going to try and keep everything brief. First of all, with the running of the Minecraft server, I have had, a lot of enjoyment seeing you guys join in on the server and just hang out and play Minecraft and have fun. But some people are, kind of not engaging with the theme of the server. I put out a survey, and it turns out that the main thing people do here is building, but that's to be expected from Minecraft, just in general. As a game, to do anything, you practically have to build it. That being said, there's kind of this misconception sort of thing of what I want this server to be. This server is not going to be something I plan to keep up for years and years and years and years. At least I don't think so. The plan right now is just to gauge people's interest. And so far, there's been some interest, but a lot of people have stated, oh, I'm getting bored because there's all these powerful weapons and artifacts, but after you beat the Ender Dragon, there's not really anything for us to do with them. And I could add in things like roguelike dungeons or stuff like that could, add more content to the game. But I just don't know how I would go about doing that, simply because I'm unfamiliar with Fabric. I could add other dimensions or anything like that. I just don't know. That being said, the second main issue with updating the mod pack is that every time I update the mod pack, everyone on the server will have to download the new updated mod pack. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm treating the server as it is now as basically an open beta. This is not the final version of the mod pack that I'm going to be running permanently. This is just the one I was curious to get actual multiple player feedback on, because, now we've got more people on the server doing a lot more things on a more regular basis. All right, now we cut to the running of the server. Would you guys be against me doing some sort of donations where you guys could contribute actual money to help with running the server? Right now, it costs me about $30 to $40 a month to run this server. And as of right now, that's way more of my finances than I would like. That's about 4 or 5 days of food. That's a tank of gas in my truck. And I just don't know. Like, I want to keep running this, but if I have to shut it down because of finances, that's not really going to help anybody. So if you guys would be interested in actually donating to help keep this server up and running for the foreseeable future, let me know and I'll see what I can do about making that an actual reality. I don't know what I would do for like donator perks or anything yet. This is just an idea I was kind of floating in my head of, oh yeah, I've got a massive fan base technically that likes playing on the server. Maybe they'd be interested in supporting the server. So we'll see about that. I've also gotten a bunch of comments saying that you guys are glad that, I'm back, I'm making content. And that's good to hear. I kind of missed making content. My only issue right now is that I'm operating off of a pretty cheap Walmart laptop. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a gaming laptop, but it was a $300 laptop from Walmart, so it's not the best. And I'm trying to get my old computer up and running, so at the very least I have something better to edit on. As right now, editing is the biggest pain in my ass. But let's talk about the contest. There's been some misconception and some confusion about the contest and what I plan to do with it going forward. Well, I plan to build a library at spawn, a massive library. And I plan to fill this library with books from across the server. So if you've received a book from a predator, you would be able to donate that book or letter to the library at spawn, and anybody could come to the spawn library and read these books. And I feel like it could be, sort of a fun little thing to categorize everything that's happened on the server, all the different rates and stuff. So going forward, I also, want more people to actively participate in it. And this is where I'm going to open the question to those of you who actually play on the server. Would you be interested in not just more of these contests, but contests featuring different locations? So the last one was at my house. I'm currently working on Shedenti. Maybe when it's built, it could be one of the things that has a contest placed on it. Or maybe I do a different build somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Now, I feel like it could be a really fun thing, or people could volunteer their houses to be the site of the next contest. It really boils down to what you guys want, because ultimately this whole project is based on your feedback. And I want your feedback to make sure that we can make this a good server. On topic of roleplay, some people have reached out to me and said that, roleplay on the server feels kind of dead because a lot of people don't interact in character or just don't roleplay. And that's fine. If you don't want to roleplay on the server, you don't have to. I don't expect you to. I just expect everybody to have fun. But I've also had people ask me, why were the portals, the nether portals, shut down? Or the ender portals. And that's because I didn't want somebody to join the server, bum rush to the end, and by the end of month 1, we've got everybody on the server has full enchanted netherite armor and beacons and everything else. And I know some people just play faster than others. It's fine. I understand. That being said, going forward with this series, I will try to put out 1 episode a week. I know this one's kind of late, and I apologize on that. My laptop updated, and then Filmora updated, and for some reason that completely corrupted the project to the point where anytime I tried to edit the video footage in the project, it would just crash the whole program. So that was fun, but I also had my 26th birthday and my boyfriend visiting and all of this other crap. But I do plan to do this more regularly. People have asked me when I'm going to be doing Vore game review and Vore mod review again. And the answer to that is I don't want to judge a game or mod while it is still in active development. It feels insincere for me to judge a product who is not finished. Granted, I reviewed Pack Rat and I reviewed Vore Tournament, but both creators of those had officially stated that they were done, they're not working on them anymore. So I don't want to judge something like Pacha's Quest or Hazel's Journey when they're not finished yet, because that would feel rude and disrespectful to the creators of these projects who put a lot of time and effort into making these projects. But if you have a game or a mod that you think I should check out here on the channel, I won't be against doing so. I know I plan to make videos on Devourment at some point and some other mods. If you want me to do a full mod review of internals, I will. But for now, it's going to be a bit until I can find a game that not only could I give a solid review for, but that is finished, because I don't want to give a review that is steeped in, oh, well, this game could have been great, but, it's not finished, because that just feels dishonest to you guys. That, and out of everything, Vore game reviews takes the longest to make in comparison to just these Minecraft videos. I can bang these Minecraft videos out in about 2 days on average. So, but those Vore game reviews of Vore mod reviews, they expect me to 100% a game or go through and do as much as possible in the game/mod and just work my way through it to give a solid overview of everything. And for some things like Hazel's Journey, that could be a 5-hour investment. Or for things like Devourment, it could be a 100-hour investment. So it really boils down to the project, whether or not I can put out a video that I think is good quality quickly enough. And ultimately, that's the big issue, is that I want to put out a good quality video that talks about everything a game/mod project has to offer, instead of speculating on things. But regardless, we're going to be jumping back into live recording me now. Hope you enjoyed today's super fast time-lapse chat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we have sort of completed planning out this city. And if we look at the map here, you can actually see our multicolored layout. So I noticed that this island we originally started to build on was kind of isolated, like there's nothing else around here. So I decided to start marking it in purple, because this is going to be, we're going to have the castle here and sort of make this the military installation. So these two houses might just wind up becoming like barracks houses. Then I got to get a better solution for the bridge here. But over here, we have what's going to be the docks district. So this is going to be the waterfront district. We're going to have some pretty big docks here, maybe some sailing ship builds out in the water. And this is just in general going to be where all the waterfront industry is going on. Behind that, in the light blue, we're going to have the warehouse district. This is going to have like all of the warehouses for the different dock buildings and stuff like that, and some lower class housing. In the gray here, we're actually going to have the market district, which is going to be here. Then in the red, we have the housing district, which is going to have like the normal streets of housing. The pink is going to be the upper class housing, for like the priest and stuff like that. The brown here is going to be the Holy District, which is going to have the different churches and temples. These green areas are plotted out farms that are going to be out here, which I might extend this other one. Bear in mind that these are not set in stone. Like, I could always say, put another district here, or expand these farms out bigger. These yellow districts, however, are going to be like low, like super low class housing. Like, this is, you're lucky to have a roof over your head. So, like, log houses and stuff outside the city walls that are just there for the city's protection. Because I looked into it, and that was stuff that did exist in the medieval ages. And I kind of like that idea. So, as you can see, a lot of our builds and stuff are going to have to be torn down. Like, this tree farm and all of that stuff has to go. But, for now, I'm going to leave that stuff generating me building supplies. Because, according to my calculations, I am going to need thousands of blocks worth of wood, wool, and I think either black stone or deep slate. I'm probably going to wind up going with deep slate, but we'll see. And that's not counting like the exterior wall of the city and everything. So this could get pretty expensive on the terms of building supplies. So I will be doing a lot of supplies farming between these next two episodes for this, because oh my god, I'm going to need a lot. And I'll get back to you on the build here. But I figured before we leave the video off, now that we have our build planned, well, the hunt game is running, and I have a couple of missions that I should probably do. So, if we come in, I have these two missions, which I consider to be the easiest. I have to digest 15 zombies and have 25 entities in my stomach at once. Both of these shouldn't be too hard, and that's because I think I know of a way to complete both. So, by entities, I talked to Ayla, or Vera, who runs this, and she said she meant to put mobs. So, we're going to go first. Here we are, admin house. And there's a couple reasons why I'm over here. The first of which is we have a farm here. So, it's just said to have them in my stomach, not digest them. Which is good, because I still need some of these. Well, I have blue automatically now, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, Axel. 6, 7, 8. How many did it say? 25. 9, 10, 11, 12. Holy crap. 13, 14, 15. Getting up slopes is impossible now. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my god, I can barely walk. 21, 22. How do you see? I wish there was this way of seeing how much is in there at the moment. I can barely walk. I can barely walk. I'm like slowly hobbling around and I have increased movement status effects on. If I take that off. Nope, doesn't help. Eh. Eh. I just need the 2 cows and 1 more. Holy crap. I can hardly move. I can't even jump. Oh my god, this is awful. Come here. Don't walk away. I don't have wheat. Oh my god. I am literally crawling. Holy crap, it takes up the whole screen. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Get over here. Don't walk away from me. Come here. God. This is awful. Wait, hold on. Okay. I just need 1 more. Okay. I did not mean to hit the bee when I teleported, but I'd say that's mission complete. And screenshots for evidence. All right. But copy, paste. Since they're in there, I really don't feel like trying to waddle back and put them away. And that's how you deal with that. I don't know what else is in there still. But This mission is now complete. We'll put all of this back. And this, of course, is our primary building materials here. We've got dragonwood for the roof, ebony for the floors, skyrus for some of the buildings, and ether for this dark blue bottom. So, I'm going to leave the episode here until next time I'm Mystic or Lunar, as you guys know me. Until next time, y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all's day.
Mm-hmm.